Hi, YouTube. It's Angela. Here we are, grounded dreamers, ready for another soul guidance reading for this week. I I pulled the first card. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, because I feel I step into this energy a lot, or it's created around me a lot. And I love this because we have a path basically from unknown, fluffed up energy back to stability here. So I love it. We open up with chaos. Oh boy. This is the spirit of storm. This is upheaval, you know, upheaval and the unknown coming at you and kind of like, whoa, how do I adapt to this? Right. But knowing too that beneath it is an energy that's going to help restore. Like the upheaval sometimes has to happen to break everything apart so that you could see what you're left with and get some clarity after a phase of confusion. Rest in the center of it all. Let the chaos energy continue, but rest in that center and kind of choose your path forward. When chaos hits us, we immediately go into, well, many times, I can't say everyone does, but I immediately go into control mode. Like my brain activates. It's like, how can I step out of this? How can I, where's my solution? I want to jump right into that. And the energy of this card is kind of saying, just recognize that, as this upheaval is occurring around me, recognize that mostly if you go with the energy there is and not get taken off, not get into a worry, rabbit hole, then what appears from the clearing that this storm has created is your path forward, is your center. And to just allow for that chaos to be there without having to engage with it, I think is what I'm trying to say, is a really good piece of guidance so that we can allow it to clear. I pulled 2 Zen cards to go with each of these oracles, and I love the ones that came with the chaos card. Chaos card, I got intensity and schizophrenia, indecisiveness. So that's it. When something shows up and throws our lives into another gear or in another direction or blows things up that we weren't expecting, we're left feeling with such intense feelings sometimes that we don't know how to proceed. We don't know, oh boy, how am I going to respond to this? How am I going to move forward? What is my best path forward? And what this guidance is kind of calling for is to sort of tone down the reactive mental response that says, let me solve this right now, and kind of let the storm pass first, right? And then you'll be left with some clarity. After any storm, the air is clear, the sky is blue, everything feels refreshed, and the earth got extra water to work with and to start to generate more growth. That's what you want to focus on when the chaos hits, when the storm hits. To go with that, I love this. I pulled change. I pulled dragonfly spirit. So this is to the guidance to say, like the dragonfly gracefully moves along in the sky, but did you know that they fly backwards? And they could also, fly upside down and then do like a 360 in the air. They have all this movement that is within their flow and still look graceful doing it, even while they're flying upside down. This is your calling to just be a little wild, a little unpredictable, move with the chaos that's come. I'm not talking like physically or assertively or choosing things that are chaotic in your life, but the energy, your energy within, as the chaos shows up, let it be there and move yourself along with it, with grace. And let the predictability kind of not be part of your game at this point. Just for a little bit, be unpredictable. Don't try to control circumstances, but you can control your approach or how much meaning you put on the circumstances, especially if it's this chaos. You can control your response to it, right? Don't, if you don't put too much meaning on it, it will pass and you'll find your path, right? So let your energy kind of get fluffed up and flowing with that chaotic, with that storm. Not to the point where you spin off like a tornado into the sky, but just to be, in the center of it and allow it to be there. It's kind of what I'm saying. That's what we talk about when we talk about being peaceful. It's not the absence of, like the only time I can be peaceful is when there isn't all kinds of stuff going on around me. No, the point of being peaceful is being in full acceptance of what is going on around you, of all this chaos and upheaval, being in full acceptance of that and being okay and remaining centered as a result. So I like that that change card coming after the storm. And the Zen cards that I pulled with the change are Thunderbolt. This is the change. This is the change in action right here. It's everything. Things are shaken up, right? It kind of has the same vibe there. And then some things are going to fall away. If you shake a tree that's ripe with fruit, the stuff that's ready and doesn't need the nourishment anymore and doesn't need to enable to grow falls off. Then you're left with the bare bones of starting again and regenerating. And that's the energy that we're talking here. Let the stuff fall away that isn't going to serve you. Don't cling to anything in the chaos, and then instill some real trust. And I love how the trust card is a figure flying, which we talked about, how the dragonfly just flies and moves in its own unpredictable way. And this trust card is saying, kind of pick up on that energy, let the gusts of wind take you in whatever direction. Not to the point, right, where we're sort of out of our minds and trying to regain some stability, but for a time, let the flow, I call it fluffed up energy. It's like, let that fluff up and move away so that you could see what's remaining, what you're left with. And then the next card I got is the Wise Woman of the Grove. This is the spirit of grace. This is calling in your wisdom, healing energy, inspiration, and just recognizing how blessed you are by the divine force that's always going, right? So we had chaos, we had the dragonfly saying, let's move along with it for a little bit, let's move unpredictably, let's see where it lands. And then you get to rest in the knowing that this is all happening with a divine purpose, and that your wisdom that you've gathered thus far can hold you. It can hold you in even among the most fiery storm. With the card of grace, I pulled receptivity, right? Staying open, staying mindful of how the divine works in your experience, in your life experience, and tapping into that feeling of grace and wisdom. And then with receptivity, I got no thingness. That's our, kind of our stock guidance is don't expect, release those expectations of it needs to go this way or I'm a failure, right? We had the universe telling us we need to shake some stuff up right now. You need to move about in a little more of a flowy way, like a little more unpredictability. Get yourself rolling, move with the energy that's around you. The grace will remain, the healing, energy will remain. That won't get taken away, by the chaos card. But that is the energy that you want to use in order to build on your next phase, on your next step, right? After the shakeup. And then we rest in the earth spirit and we regain stability. We get grounded. We start to recognize how protected we are. We plan, we plot, we plant seeds for our future abundance, and we make sure that our next phase is in place. So we moved from chaos to stability in this spread. And that is, and the key there in between was that willingness to move with the energy, right? Be the dragonfly. Instead of trying to jump from chaos to earth, right? You're going to end up tripping yourself up. So let yourself move with it for a bit and let it float away and strip away. And then what you're left with is your light and your grace. Now you can reroot, right? And replant. And then the Zen cards that I pulled with this stability card are source, right? That's more of this grace card. That's, the source of all that is. This is, if you're going to use semantics, it's the divine, it's the creator, it's the universe, it's God, it's your inner being, it's all of that. Source is, to me, a culmination or a combination of all that is around you, not your mental. That's not your source. It's more vibrational, right? And so yeah, to regain the stability, you tap into your source and the source of the energy around you. And then the final card that I got to go with the stability card is abundance. So yeah, we said, as we plant seeds for our future abundance, it shows up. And remember that abundance isn't only, we like to think of it as prosperity, as monetary. Abundance is wherever you experience richness in your life, wherever you experience that grace, right? And that is, that's a beautiful way to end this spread. I love it so much. So we've been able to move from the chaos and move with the change that's upon us, be that dragonfly, float around, fly upside down for a minute. It doesn't mean to continue to fly upside down forever, but to know that you can, move with the flow of the energy that's going on. This is, specifically during times of upheaval. And this could be something in your external world that's getting shaken up, or it could just be, an epiphany that you have about yourself. And it's like, whoa, I've seen myself as this, but I'm not really that way anymore. I don't really like to, I don't know. I used to see myself as being highly organized and really detail oriented. And yeah, to a point I am, but that isn't the only center of how I operate anymore, right? That's more, I move with the flow of what is there. So that being able to kind of recognize that, everything is that could be this chaos, is realizing, oh yeah, I'm not that way anymore. This is an epiphany. This is one of those moments instead of something that might be happening in your outer world that is an experience of upheaval. It could be that too. I just want to widen the guidance there for people who are like, yeah, I don't have anything chaotic. My life's stable. Well, at times things get shaken up, right? So I pulled two cards to go, to cap this off, and they're just obvious. I pulled creativity and success. And what I get from this is, the creativity card to me means the full expression of your inner being. That's where creativity comes from, right? Is that sort of second chakra energy. That's the connection to your feelings, who you are, how you relate to others. That's how we create, is by expressing those deeper feelings, expressing who we are. And then the success. So on your way to move from chaos to stability, remember your inner being is there the whole way to guide you, and retain the attention to your inner being. And that's the path to your success. I love it so much. It's perfect. And I hope you enjoyed it and keep coming back. And I want to remind you of the September Soul Challenge that I posted here. And I will link it to this video. I think the last couple videos I've said, oh, I'm going to link it, and I never did. Sorry. But this I will. The September, I'll put it in the notes below here, below this video. But yeah, the Soul Challenge is up, and it's not too late to jump in. It's a suggested practice to increase your mindfulness, and it's really just sort of breaking down the ways that we approach mindfulness with all of our senses. So with our vision, what we see, what we feel, what we, so listen to that. It's a shorter video, and it's a good challenge. It's a good thing to put into practice for this month. It will help transform, the way you experience life. It will at least be a foundation to help you get started in a new way. And I think for now, that's it. So thank you guys for being here, and See you soon.